Good day everyone, this is Anger. Aljan Michael G. Sabak and I welcome you to our discussion about Earth science. Sit back and relax as you listen to this presentation video. Get ready to be amazed and learn about our own planet Earth. Welcome to the world of Earth science. On the next slides, we will try to know the definition and meaning of the Earth science field. Our agenda today is to answer the question, what is Earth science? What does the subject talks about? What are things that we should know and learn about it? From the question itself, we might notice that it tackles mainly about our Earth. But, does it really talk about it? How do we know that we are dealing things that is in the field of Earth science? Earth science, in simple definition, is the study of the Earth and its neighbors in space. It includes all the fields of natural science related to the planet Earth and deals with the physical and chemical constitution of the Earth and its atmosphere and oceans and its interactions in space. It also involves how the natural world interacts with its surroundings. It is an exciting science with many interesting and practical applications. Like for example, some Earth scientists use their knowledge of the Earth to locate and develop energy and mineral resources. Others study the impact of human activity on Earth's environment, and design methods to protect the planet. Some use their knowledge about Earth processes such as volcanoes, earthquakes, and hurricanes to plan communities that will not expose people to these dangerous events. Many different sciences are used to learn about the Earth. However, there are only 4 basic areas of Earth science. These are geology, meteorology, oceanography, and astronomy. Astronomy tackles about on how the Earth relates in space and time. Meteorology talks about how atmospheric conditions relate to weather and climate. Oceanography shows us how marine ecosystems interact in the oceans, and geology addresses how Earth's landforms and rock change over time. These 4 sciences collectively seeks to understand Earth and its neighbors in space. Understanding Earth science is challenging because our planet is a dynamic body with many interacting parts and a complex history. Throughout its long existence, Earth has been changing, and in fact it is changing as you are listening to this presentation and will continue to do so in the future. Furthermore, studying the realms of Earth science requires an understanding and application of knowledge and principles from your previous science subjects, physics, chemistry, and biology. To sum it all up, these are the sciences that seek to expand our knowledge of the natural world and our place in it. A brief explanation of these sciences will be provided on the next slides. Geology is one science that deals with these terms. From rocks, minerals, and to land structures that you may have known. Mount Everest and some volcanoes that you are familiar of. You might want to think about the land itself. And if you have watched Dr. Stone, you will surely know what the definition of the term geology. Now let's visualize it on the next slide so that you will see the wonders of geology. The land that you walk into if you go on a trip, the majestic volcano eruptions that you see on often in the news, and the rocks that you used to play with your friends are all about geology. You also might be interested with fossils in some documentary movies, and with the legends and stories that interprets mountains and the shining and shimmering minerals and gemstone that you can see from the jewelries of your parents. We define the term geology as the study of the Earth. It includes of the materials that make up Earth, the processes that form and change these materials, and the history of the planet and its life forms. It is divided into 2 broad areas, the physical and historical geology. Physical geology examines the materials composing Earth and seeks to understand the many processes that operate beneath and upon its surface. It deals with the materials that constitute the Earth, the structure and surface features and the processes that have given the Earth its present appearance. The processes and forces of which includes the internal forces that creates earthquakes, build mountains, and produce volcanic structures, and the external processes and forces that aims of destruction, meaning it breaks apart rocks and sculpt a broad array of landforms, thus creating diversity of landscapes. Historical geology, on the other hand, is to understand the origin of Earth and the development of the planet through its 4.6 billion-year history. It strives to establish an orderly chronological arrangement of the multitude of physical and biological changes that have occurred in the geologic past. It deals with the history of the Earth, its changing face and structures, and the changing forms of living things. Earth is a dynamic, ever-changing planet. Internal forces create earthquakes, build mountains, and produce volcanic structures. At the surface, external processes break rock apart and sculpt a broad array of landforms. If you think of geology, it is somewhat a kind of adventure that you want to experience. Meteorology is one science that deals with these terms. From weather to climate, to the things that you've heard on the radio and television, like when a typhoon is coming. You might think also of climate change, and you might to look also in the sky. And if you have watched Weathering with You, you will surely know what the definition of the term meteorology is. Now let's define it on the next slide so that you will see the wonders of meteorology. Meteorology, in its broadest sense, is the study of the Earth's atmosphere. It includes the processes that cause the atmosphere to change and produce weather and climate. The study of meteorology is of critical importance in protecting Earth's environment. Meteorological phenomena are observable weather events which illuminate and are explained by the science of meteorology. These events are bound by the variables that exist in Earth's atmosphere. It also examines the mixture of gases that is held to the planet by gravity and thins rapidly with altitude. Acted on by the combined effects of Earth's motions and energy from the Sun, and influenced by Earth's land and sea surface, the formless and invisible atmosphere reacts by producing an infinite variety of weather, which in turn creates the basic pattern of global climates. If you think of meteorology, it is somewhat a kind of dream that you want to experience. Oceanography is one science that deals with these terms. From the marine life that is found on our seas and oceans, to the currents of the coastline that we often surf. At the beach that we splash upon, and to the mysteries deep below. And if you have watched Finding Nemo, you will surely know what the definition of the term oceanography is. Now let's visualize it on the next slide so that you will see the mysteries of oceanography. Oceanography, in its broadest sense, is the study of the Earth's oceans. It includes the creatures that inhabit salt water, measure different physical and chemical properties of the oceans, and observe various processes in these bodies of water. Moreover, it tackles the physical, chemical, and biological features of the ocean, including the ocean's ancient history, its current condition, and its future. Oceanography is actually not a separate and distinct science. Rather, it involves the application of all sciences in a comprehensive and interrelated study of the oceans in all their aspects and relationships. Oceanography integrates chemistry, physics, geology, and biology. It includes the study of the composition and movements of seawater, as well as coastal processes, seafloor topography, and marine life. It talks about mainly our waters in our ocean. From the surface and to the deepest parts of it. Our oceans are so vast that we only researched a bit of it, that's why it remains a mystery to us humans. But soon, with technology advancements, we will know the mysteries that are still hiding below it. If you think of oceanography, Moana might want to sail the seas with you, or Poseidon will adopt you as his child. Astronomy is one science that deals with these terms. From the planets that we have memorized in our elementary grades to the vast galaxies that were mentioned in our books. You might know about the explorations of NASA and the satellites and rockets that were sent outside because of our curiosity. Sometimes, we also wonder if there are aliens outside too. And if you have watched Guardians of the Galaxy, you will surely know what the definition of the term astronomy is. Now let's visualize it on the next slide so that you will see the bizarre things of astronomy. Astronomy talks about the things that we look up in the sky at night. The lovely moon that shines its light for us, and to the twinkling stars that made us dream at night. The planets that revolves around our sun, and the comets and shooting stars that fascinates us. All of these things that we watched in the night sky are all about astronomy. Astronomy, in its broadest sense, is the study of the Earth's beyond. It includes the sun, moon, stars, planets, comets, gas, galaxies, gas, dust and other non-earthly bodies and phenomena. It is the study of the sun, moon, stars, planets, comets, gas, galaxies, gas, dust and other non-earthly bodies and phenomena. It uses mathematics, physics, and chemistry in order to explain their origin and evolution. It demonstrates that an understanding of Earth requires that we relate our planet to the larger universe. Because Earth is related to all the other objects in space, the science of astronomy, the study of the universe, is very useful in probing the origins of our own environment. If you think of astronomy, our resident aliens would want to take you for a trip in their own galaxy. Understanding Earth science is challenging because our planet is a dynamic body with many interacting parts and a complex history. Throughout its long existence, Earth has been changing. In fact, it is changing as you read this page and will continue to do so into the foreseeable future. The Earth Sciences, studying the impact that humans have on the Earth and how natural processes affect us, provide vital information for our future as a species. Our future depends on understanding how the Earth can provide food, water and energy for our growing population. The primary focus of Earth science is to develop an understanding of basic principles, but along the way we explore numerous important relationships between people and the natural environment. Many of the problems and issues addressed by the Earth sciences are of practical value to people. With respect to the environment, Earth science also deals with natural hazards since it is a part of living here on Earth. Among the hazardous natural processes studied by Earth scientists includes volcanoes, floods, tsunami, earthquakes, landslides, and hurricanes. Remember that, they become hazards only when people try to live where these processes occur. Next, it deals with resources and raw materials since it is an important focus that is of great practical value to people. It includes water and soil, a great variety of metallic and non-metallic minerals and energy. Together they form the very foundation of modern civilization. Earth science deals not only with the formation and occurrence of these vital resources but also with maintaining supplies and with the environmental impact of their extraction and use. Lastly, we have population growth. This means a ballooning demand for resources and a growing pressure for people to dwell in environments having significant natural hazards. That sums up everything. I hope that you have learned something from the discussion. Goodbye for now and see you on our next discussion.